Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Kara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Check Show!
Ahoy, hoy, friends.
Ahoy, hoy, everyone. How's it going? Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. We're having an awesome Sunday.
It's nice. The weather's nice.
It is nice. For the first time in a little while, we had a really nice day yesterday. There was lots of rain in our world over the last few weeks.
And as you can see from the chaos right there, we've been building.
Mm-hmm.
It's utter chaos, and we're going to de-chaos that when the show's done.
Well,
it's our big project.
just don't pay no attention to over there.
It's that's Lego building creativity right there, that big pile.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is a pretty awesome t-shirt. And harkens back to one of our old challenges when a bunch of people did the let's go all go to the lobby characters when we did a movies challenge, I believe. Anywho, that was wait, where am I at? Oh yeah, you probably noticed I shaved off my beard. I couldn't
The middle part.
I couldn't take it anymore. It just didn't seem I wasn't feeling it, put it that way. I wasn't feeling it.
Going back to the land of Wolverine.
Yeah, old man Logan, kind of more like, but yeah, sure, why not? Anywho, let's see who's here in the green room from the middle-ish, leftish, rightish hand of the United States, depending on which side of what river it is that you're thinking about.
Let's just say he's in the continental U.S.
It's Moto.
Hey, Moto.
I am your roving reporter that's deeply embedded in the heart of the U.S.
There you go. See, I'm just gonna keep making it more confusing and ridiculous as time goes by. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, and from across the bay, it's Kara, Minifigchick. Hi. How's it going?
All right. I'm sorry.
Yes. It looks like you may be having some stop action animation version of Kara going on there. We're getting about like every 50th frame.
Oh, you're back.
You're back. And speaking of stop action animation, there's no Holly today.
Oh, it's not.
She's on a trip. I mean, it was a good segue. I'm just saying. Anywho, so golly. Well, it's a very, if you saw from the title, we're having a very chill show today, a build and chill, if you will. Oh, hey, it rhymed. Anyway, we have got a lot of work to do for our Bricks Cascade,
our contribution
collab.
to the collab. So we've been building in off colors to get the shapes of the things we're building, and then we have to we're going to do our second bricklink order today to get in the correct colors.
But here's the front of our monorail train, which I'm very happy about.
Ooh, it's Batman.
That's our little. Well, that's the other side. Don't look at the side that's not finished. Look at this side. Look at this side.
Well, we got a bricklink order in for that, right? So we have most of the pieces for the monorail.
And then this is the back half, which we'll be seeing some adjustments coming up as well. But so it kind of just looks like a big fish.
Creature ship thing.
Moto,
you have two Mr. Meows staring us down from the back of the studio.
They've been there for a month now, I think.
Yeah,
Mr. Meow and Mr. Mew.
Mr. Meow.
Sir Meows a lot, and then that's a sketch. Years later, I think last year I did that one, or the year before.
Smaller is more difficult, I think. I think with Lego, while large takes a lot of time. How's it going, Flynn?
It's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't get to eat breakfast, so you'll see me dashing off to take a bite of English muffin. Anyway, please continue.
I think making smooth curves and lots of detail is more difficult small than it is large.
Yeah, in general, I'm working on another cat-related update.
Cool.
Cat-related update.
So I had to stack a bunch of my cat models up to be able to cheat a little bit off of them. I look back there every once in a while and I compare what I'm working on.
Very
it's
good.
Like holding your thumb up in front of you.
Yeah. By the way, did you know that you can tell how long it's going to be till sunset if you hold your hand in front of you and count the number of fingers that the sun is above the horizon?
Yep.
Oh, really? See, like I used to move. I'd measure the movement of stars by doing this, but then it's a little like, do you do this or do you do this? I think I about like that for the movement of stars in an hour.
No, so the rule of thumb is if you hold your arm as far out as you can and the sun is starting to set, if you count the number of the thickness of the fingers to the horizon, it's 15 minutes for each finger.
Oh, that makes sense. See, like this. So that's
and that'd be an hour.
Right?
So 4 of them would be an hour, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Yep. And speaking of which, this doesn't have yet much to do with Lego, but I bet it will eventually. We're back on the moon. The United States landed a lander on the moon.
That's amazing.
Well, we're not back on the moon, but we do have a space mission over there.
No, people aren't there.
Yeah,
people aren't
exactly.
There, but they did a soft landing and they had telemetry and it was upright and transmitting data. So that was cool.
Yay, space.
Yeah, we've had two explosions and crashes before this one, I think, from other nations trying it. So
yeah, I read that about 50% of attempts have been successful. It's hard.
Oh wow.
Spacing is hard.
But maybe they'll have a new friends.
It's almost like saying rocket science is a measurement of how smart you have to be to do something. That's how challenging it is.
Well, I hope we end up seeing Friends Artemis mission mashups coming up.
Oh yes, please.
Friends on the Moon.
Very good. Well,
they've been trained in an earlier set, so yeah, it's time for them to create their space base.
Space.
Well, what's new in Lego for you, Moto?
The Ornithopter was new.
Yep.
Just starting a new build, trying to work it out, and once it looks good enough, I'll show all you guys.
Very good. Now I'm curious, do you do prototyping? I mean, because
that's what that one was.
Well, I mean, like, do you do, like, if you're going to build, say, a building, do you prototype it in off colors and then buy the pieces that you need, or do you go through, like, searching everything out? That's awesome.
So I will only resort to building in off colors if I'm truly desperate and have run low. But it takes a lot for me to run my stuff out of parts. More often than not, if I know I need a special piece, and there's some sort of pattern, I'll work the pattern, just a fragment of the pattern, and then I have to order all the pieces to complete the pattern.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what we're doing right now. We have these bubble windows that are in one of our buildings, and we don't have the 1x8 black arches that we need to complete it. So we just kind of built one, and then we'll know, like, what pieces we need to order for the rest of it.
But I like building in bricks more than digitally. I do a lot of digital design at work, but I like letting the bricks tell me what they want to do. It's sort of a conversation back and forth.
These things cannot use CAD for any of the models over there. Bricklink Studio will not. So, like with Sir Meows a lot. Like Sir Meows a lot, you cannot get this to work in Studio. It will freak out and die.
Well, right.
Yeah. I imagine those are like
only
irregular angles.
Yeah, so a lot of what I like, or when I do a mock, what I prefer to do is I like to put in techniques that cannot be done in CAD. that can only be done if you sit there and work with the bricks.
Part of your joy with building.
Part of it, but also the other part of it is that a lot of MOCs are now being copied by Lego clone brands
Yes.
and then sold as sets without attributing it back to the MOC builder.
Right.
So one way to defeat that is you literally make something that can't be done in CAD, so no one can ever create instructions. It's impossible.
Oh, very clever.
It's impossible for someone, for example, no one could build a set out of that thing unless they trained an AI model to figure out how Studio could reassemble it. But if you build in isometrics, if you build using whatever connections you're doing, and people are well versed in snot math, then they can go ahead and recreate a model and produce a set illegally and send it out in the world, and you don't have a lot of chance to claw it back.
You know what? We also have a something else going on today, and that is it's Moto's birthday.
It is my birthday.
Dun, 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 dun.
The 25th is my birthday.
Well, and unfortunately, trying to sing "Happy Birthday" over a call like this is maybe the worst thing you could ever try to do. So I'm not going to do that. But happy birthday, Moto!
Thank you.
Very good.
I am 51 years old.
Woohoo! Welcome to the other side.
Yeah. And my birthday wish will be the same wish as I had last year, which is to celebrate another birthday.
That's a good one. That's always a good one. That's
so
a good one.
It's worked so far. They've always come true. What someday they will.
Perennial.
I won't be around to be disappointed though. So that's the beauty of it.
Right.
I always remember Kara's birthday because it's around the time that Bricks LA always was.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
Your birthday is associated with the convention. That's great.
Well, because we would celebrate her birthday in Southern California.
Yeah, it was like a
maybe
thing.
going to
Disneyland.
Disneyland too.
Yeah, Kara, you actually may need to like bow out and come back in. Your connection is very
staccato.
Yes.
All right, let me do that. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
So Monica Berry said that I share a birthday with her grandpa, who would be 101. So my grandmother her birthday is the day before mine, and my mom really tried to push me out, but it didn't happen. I was born like really early, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever it was. So I didn't share a birthday with my grandma. But my grandma, she lived to be 102 before she passed away, which is pretty impressive.
Wowzers.
Twice your age. So with all of the huge amounts of exciting things that you've done and amazing design and adventures that you've had, you could have at least that much time left. If you live, to 102, you could do a lot in 51 more years.
If I live...
Yeah,
who knows? And
no, that's a long. I was trying to explain to my son. So Mr. Meow, I was telling him about grandma, or his great grandma. I said, well, she was born in 1913. I said, so when she was born, she grew up with no automobile. There's a photograph of their first automobile that they ever bought. And then I was like, well, there was record players, there's phonographs. I was trying to explain like how much humanity, like all these major milestones of like radio, television, power lines being dropped out to Utah. She grew up in Minnesota, but no interstate system. Their first car. She was in college during World War I.
Wow.
Then World War II. I mean, it was like I was like trying to explain to my son, and meanwhile he's just like, yeah, whatever, and he's doing his Android phone thing, watching streaming videos. I'm like, you can't imagine like streaming a video over the internet sitting in this car right now. I'm trying to explain to you.
Well, that's
like how long ago that was. Like that was the breath of her life, which is pretty impressive.
Well, it's interesting that you would say that because I'm just in school right now. I have a computers and libraries class, and our discussion this last week was about how the internet has changed in our lifetime. And me being, I think the oldest person in my class. Big surprise. I'm in a college class and I'm the oldest person at 56. I was like, I spent 20 years with no internet. Like there was no such thing. Like I pretty much signed on to the internet when it was quote unquote new, back in the early 90s. And I mean, obviously the internet wasn't new, but it was new to the public, like in a world. So
I tried to tell my son what a huge difference it made when we went from the rotary to the touch tones.
Oh,
pay
yes.
extra for the touch tone phone capability.
Yep.
I was like, you didn't have to wait for the 9 to go click, 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 click.
I know.
That was our entertainment back then.
Yeah.
Our entertainment was seeing how long of a
exciting
phone
as that's
cord you
been.
could stretch out of the kitchen to the rest of the house. I think that was our entertainment.
So we've had
But
Lego
whatever.
almost my whole life. I was born in 1966. Lego was in our house almost as long as I can remember, but I do remember,
Wow.
talking about old school, in kindergarten, we played with huge wooden blocks. They seemed huge to me, but it was blocks. They didn't even, wasn't even Lego.
Wow. Hey, Pink Wells 3, how's it going? Hey, so you know what? We are long in. Yes, and Cara, you look much better now. I mean, your connection looks much better now. And as a result, you.
And it's time for
pins. So just in time.
18 minutes in.
Yeah, well, we got a history lesson and a whole bunch of things. And yes, actually something I wanted to put forward there that yes, Fourth World Adam, you're correct. Bricks by the Bay has been indefinitely postponed. So
there's not a California convention.
So there are no California conventions at this time. So if you're feeling like you want to do a whole lot of work for very little return, start a convention. I'm kidding. There's a lot of return, but I will say that like
hard work.
What I mean is it's really hard work putting something like that together, especially when it gets beyond a particular size. And then especially here in California, where everything costs $5 billion to do anything. So yeah, unfortunately.
One of the many reasons we're so excited about Bricks Cascade.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, pins. Cara, you want to go first?
Always. All right. This is from Pixar, Inside Out. Anger, because he makes me laugh.
Hopefully that's not what you're feeling right now.
It's not, and it's his little fire head is transparent. So.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Very cool. Very cool.
Anyway, anger. Rawr.
All right, Moto, where are we going today?
We're going to show a pin that was found in a bulk lot this week. So.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Jealous.
It says Loot Crate on the back, so I know where it came from.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. Still, that's super cool. Very nice.
There you go.
And there's also coming up they did a teaser for the D&D Lego set this last week.
Oh, cool.
It was a gelatinous cube with like pieces floating in it, including a skeleton.
Cube.
It's not a gelatinous tube. It's a
not.
gelatinous cube. But that was pretty cool. That was
a gelatinous tube's what happens when you put a gelatinous cube in one of those toothpaste extractors or sausage extractors. And just,
exactly.
Extrudes
it out.
Extrudes it, yes.
All right. I guess it's us.
Well,
wait, I had mine. What happened to it? It's disappeared.
Well, let's see. While you search for that, Clicky's going to help us out. Oh no, you saw he's didn't move all by himself.
Sorry, I had it sitting literally right here in front of me. Oh, that's because I put it in my lap.
Got it? Well, I've got also from Pixar, not entirely coincidentally, I have
goodness.
Joy.
Very cool. And I have a really awesome pin that I got from Minifigchick, celebrating the 50th anniversary of one of my very favorite Disney rides of all time. Not the Haunted Mansion, surprisingly, although that is my very favorite one. This is probably my next favorite one. and that is Peter
Yeah.
Pan's Place.
Cute.
You get to fly over London.
Very cool. Oh, and I just wanted to clarify
There you go.
something earlier that when I said English muffin and then Chris Chalice said something about, do I mean a crumpet? I wish I meant a crumpet, because they're not, I don't think that they are the kind of,
They're not quite the
I
same.
think they're quite the kind of,
Trader Joe's has passable crumpets.
they do have passable, but they are definitely not the
Yeah,
same.
the English muffins that I see in grocery stores are not English. They're technically
No,
They're
muffins.
American.
They're sort of a heel of Wonder Bread shaped into a circle.
With nooks and crannies. Don't forget the nooks and crannies. Anywho,
Kara, what are you working on?
I am sorting because I have a technical issue I need to solve with one of my modules for the FriendZone. And I have to sort the Technic bricks because I have the essential piece that I'm using is this Baraki tentacle, which is bionic.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
Yep.
But it has a an axle end. So I realized I needed to find all things axle connector so that I can construct this thing that I am constructing. So
Well,
I'm
we
I
have
sorting-
lots of them.
I
If
love
you-
how so many builders out there will never sort Technic because they hate it, and only in an act of desperation will they dig into a Technic bin.
I've never
Right.
needed to sort it until now. It's never been an issue.
Yeah, see,
Well, because it ends up all pins and number 2 axles at the bottom, and that, you know, like pin to studs, just all these tiny little pieces.
yeah.
When-
You just go through them though. You just go through them and you can scoop them up
Yep.
and bag them, and
Yeah, well, I mean, now, unfortunately, ours
not
kind
like
of
that. I meant cleanly, bricklink.
Unfortunately, we don't need to show everybody. Unfortunately, ours fell. One of our axle
Oh,
thing
no.
fell and got disarranged. However,
This was perfectly sorted before, and
Oh.
now
I do have most of the
No.
pins and axles sorted, but
Oh, the
it's
humanity.
other parts.
but you know something I learned when I was working at Playwell was having the all of the Technic pieces arranged by axle size, especially.
yeah,
And then having the pins divided up between like
Black,
friction
gray,
and
blue.
non-friction and like
Yeah.
pin to stud separately, and just because they're so easy to confuse if you don't have them.
Yep.
And I think with axles it's pretty necessary to know your axle size, so you're not, I mean, like now I feel like I know them by looking at them.
more right.
Yeah, but it's harder to do, you know, in the early days.
You know, it's no secret that I was a huge fan of Lego when I was a kid, played with it all my life as a kid, but I think they were just regular blocks. Like the base was a 2x4 of what I played with. So when Flynn got me a 20-pound jumble right when we started, like it seemed like only a few months after we started Lego as adults, the bottom of that box was filled with these parts that I swore were not Lego. Clearly, this is not Lego. Like, what is this little stick in a cross shape that has nothing to do with Lego?
Well, I mean, I can tell you just from teaching Lego classes to adults, and especially adults who don't have any experience with Lego, like they really don't understand that there are like Duplo and Technic, and you know there are very specific types of Bionicle. Like there are actually like strata of things, but
you don't need to go all the way to Galador for weird Lego pieces.
here. But hey, let's say hi to everybody in the chat.
All right.
Because it's about
Hi.
time for that. So make sure and give a hi ho hoy hoy thing in the chat, and then
You know, Kara, if you're looking for axle things, we have like every sort of bracket and bent angle piece and brick with hole. We can let us know, and you can shop our collection.
Thank you. I'm actually finding a
ooh.
surprising.
Now it's time to
range
name
here.
a new connector that was introduced in 2023.
okay.
Oh,
No, go ahead, Cara. Ask him for one of the new connectors. That's only been
What's the
introduced
new
like the
con-
last
what,
2
I don't
months.
even know what they look like. All right, give me a new
Oh.
connector. What is it? You're gonna have to show us, Moto.
Oh, show you. Okay. I can do the last year. Yeah, let me do the last year. Now you're making me dig.
I'm just on basic technique at this point.
Now, it's funny. I almost always say Technic means play functions. Oh, what's this?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And you just said, "Oh, my sweet summer child."
Yep.
If only. Oh my goodness.
There are some crazy connections though out there in the world. Once you see them.
You're king of crazy connections. But a lot of your stuff, a lot of your stuff is tiny, like clips and bars, right?
Yeah, or something beefy. By the way, I'm just going through my little. This is my
very
little
good.
doohickey of summary.
Is
of the
that
game.
box filled with tiny bags? Is it like containers all the way down?
Yeah, it's containers all the way down. There's the turtle. There's the second
Bag full of
turtle.
thimbles,
There's
each.
the third turtle. Yeah, some are turtles, some are tortoises. They're all standing on each other's backs, wondering why they're going so slow.
I love that you got that reference.
Well, hey,
Oh, yeah.
let's say hi to
Let's say hi
everybody in the
before it
chat who's been
depopulates.
saying hello up there. We've got two humble Brickses here. Hey, how's it going? Fourth World Adam. Chris Ahoy back in England. Chalice. See you later. Fabufan MKE. Hooded One. Johnny Cat's here. Hi, Johnny. JP Randa. Hello, JP. Welcome. We've got Ken Olson is here. Kicking off the escapades, we've got Minifigchick, Moto, and Ms. Slow Brickta, but I know Monica Berry is there because I saw her earlier.
And did I see Ivan Arroyo show up?
Yes,
on
we
the
saw
list?
Ivan showed up. We got Debo Bricks is here. Hey, Debo, good to see you. Let's see who else we got. We've got Pink Wheels 3 is here, so great to see you as always. Rob Zaccardi and the Zaccardis, hello. Sam Harmon
and maybe Cat.
I expect so. Rob Ketcherside is here. And of course, Bonsoir to Wilfred, who actually was here on a flyby earlier. And of course, to Zarakino, Kim, wherever you may
And
be.
I know Sam and Kat Harmon are planning something pretty spectacular for Bricks Cascade because they were looking at Fourth World Adams mountains and wondering about the height they could build, the heights they could scale.
How tall may I get? And if we know anything about them, it is they like to build big.
We know
which
they
I
build
appreciate.
big, and we know from Kat's piece that sometimes they do complex motion in their pieces
Yes,
too.
yes. So always a good time. My goodness. Well, it's gonna be quite the Bricks Cascade, I think, this year. It's gonna be a
So I have two elements that Cara would desperately need once I show her that they
Yep.
exist.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Now I'm nervous.
One is the triple pin.
Is
with
that got a
no
nail
ring stop.
head?
So it's used for triple pinning connections together by sliding it through only one end because it does not have a stop in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like those ones that have a bushing on the end, but smaller. Is that open on the end with the little lip? Yep.
It's the lip will stop it.
Is that an
Right.
axle hole on that end?
Nope.
No, that is an interesting pin, though.
So think of this as if you need to do a triple pin, but you only have access from a left or a right side,
Oh, okay.
and you can't squeeze it in between. It's two joined together. You can always smash now a triple pin in from one side and get it to link
Right.
Wow,
Three
that seems like
elements together.
one of those pieces where you could make an assembly that you can't get apart. Those actually exist, right? Assemblies that you can't get apart once you
They
get
do
it
exist,
together.
or they mostly exist. Or here's the other one that I think Cara should ask for because it's really cool. If you have a large tire,
Oh
an
yeah.
axle. So this is the non-friction version of a double axle with pin.
Oh.
See,
Love
so
it.
So you can actually use these on tires and they will rotate. And
Well,
the model kit I gave to you guys years ago,
Mm-hmm.
the tires did go on, but unfortunately they only had the friction version of these at the time.
Right, I remember that. That's right.
So if you want to swap out using the new modern non-friction,
Well, I gotta
element
say,
and
what I
make
liked about the
tire
other
spin, you
one
can.
is it keeps the car from rolling off the shelf. Which
It
is
does.
nice.
It does. Well, yeah, it's doing its job then.
Exactly.
Well, and just when I think I've got it down, which colors are friction and which aren't,
and then they introduce a new one.
your blues and blacks versus your grays and tans. Now they introduce white.
Happens.
Well, that is the standard color for the non-friction one, though. So, I mean, they
Not
is that light gray, not white?
tan or light
no,
gray?
it's white. It's white.
I'm only familiar with tan and light gray for non-friction. Huh. Learn something new here.
Well,
on the Tricky Bricks
but they
Building
made
Chat.
their friction version of this. I think was light gray, and they're running out of colors. So I don't know why I don't know. Who knows why they choose Technic colors, but they do.
Wow. And then sometimes you're very lucky and you get Technic parts in Friends colors.
Oh, those are always good.
Yeah, they're cool.
I love getting Technic parts in parts that are not gray.
Well, any part that's rendered in a friendly color. Although a lot of that has to do with Spike. Spike Prime introduced a lot of those magentas and awesome blues into the palette. So without Spike, I don't know how lucky we would have been in getting a lot of the newer parts and all the zany colors.
I've been resistant to Spike. I think it's awesome, but we're so heavily invested into Powered Up and EV3. It seems like we've got a hammer that works, and I'm not ready to switch to the new hammer yet.
Well, what reason is there besides
novelty,
like spending more money? It just feels like there's it functions for what we need it for, and I can't imagine going beyond the capabilities of EV3. It's a pretty solid system. It might be clunky in terms of size.
Oh, here's what you guys need to do. If you're gonna you should make a Lego 3D printer, and then you would have to use Spike as the base in order for them to produce it.
Yeah, I've done.
But you should make all the chains and this stuff. You should make like a little Lego 3D printer, and it comes with a new type of little Lego part that's a head.
It would have to be metal. It would have to be metal, and it would have to get hot.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the problem.
You could iterate it so each generation gets smaller. The 3D printer makes smaller bricks, and then those bricks build a smaller 3D printer that makes smaller bricks. And before you know it, you're down to super baby size.
Because we've got Lego Inception happening now.
Remember those good times with the super babies?
Or you could just make a Lego claw machine where it picks up the little babies out of the drawer and drops them down. As the prize. As the prize, it just zoots over and drops stuff. I'm surprised no one submitted that to ideas. That would be a kind of a cool thing.
Be awesome.
Crane arm thing.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for. I know I'm going to bring this back to D&D again.
Surprise!
Which we have a game tonight, as a matter of fact.
We do.
I am so looking forward to. Now, there's been rumors, and I'm just going to go we don't do. I'm just saying something that I saw bandied about on the internet. Was something about, and I have to say, I don't see the basis behind this, but I heard or I saw some rumblings about possible D&D CMF line. Which seems
okay.
I don't know. I would think that if that was, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it seems that would be something that they would wait on until they saw how the set sells. Although I gotta say, that set is going to be $350. It is not a cheap.
I would
set.
think that it doesn't take a lot of money to do the market research, and if it's overwhelming positivity, then you just do it because it's a money grab. Because there are a lot of people who want to do D&D campaigns with Lego. Every Friday is Critical Bricks that
Yep.
that Jesse Brick Galaxy runs, and they've been doing that campaign with Lego minifigs, and everything is Lego built when they do their campaign.
Wouldn't
There must be a
D&D
market for it.
I would think D&D CMFs are like Forestmen or Castle. I mean, Lego has gone heavily into fantasy over the years, so I wonder what would make a D&D CMF different.
Well, you just have to go through all the D&D types of characters you can build and just start representing each one of those. Like,
not only that, but you also have a
This,
whole retinue of monsters that are like classic D&D, like that don't exist elsewhere, like a gelatinous cube. I want the gelatinous cube CMF.
Oh my god. Would that happen?
You know, it'd be great is if there was Lego branded slime that came out of that. All it is just a clear container just filled with slime.
There you
love
go.
that, and you go around your house picking up bushings and all that. Okay, who here on the building chat
that'd be hilarious.
has Lego in their pocket right now?
I don't have.
Any Lego-
I'm not wearing anything with pockets,
Nope,
but otherwise
Let's see.
there probably would be something in there.
I don't.
I have this gray stud here. As I walk around, and especially if I ever sweep, I sort of pick up the Lego pieces.
So this is interesting.
One more.
This is interesting. So this is Sam says the loss of Scratch app for Mindstorms for Chrome was the death knell. Spike has 3 options for programming: icon block, Scratch programming, and Python text-based programming. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand most of those words, but I will say that I've always used the block programming. I don't know what Scratch programming is, to be honest.
Yeah, so Lego decided that with Spike, they were going to use a language called Scratch, and then Scratch also has underpinnings that allow you to do the more fundamental language underneath it.
Is that text-based coding?
Yeah, yeah. Python is also used, by the way, for programming light kits at a super specific machine level. There's a Python library for it. So if you buy RGB, okay, so there are LEDs that are now programmable. Each time you add a new LED, it's part of a network
Because they're
assignment of
addressed.
lights. Because they're MAC addressed, but also you can then program the duration, the brightness, and the RGB color palette. So you can create any color palette you want.
Right.
And there's a Python language for driving that if you have a Raspberry Pi or some other stuff.
Right.
So if you're looking into advanced coding of lighting and you know Python, then Scratch and Spike also become a lot easier to kind of put into your wheelhouse of learning your programming languages and coding them up. So,
well, I would think that Scratch and Spike are really a logical thing for First Lego League as well, where you want.
Well, yeah, because Scratch is taught in schools. It goes as deep as elementary school because it's very basic.
Meanwhile,
and
us out here,
yeah, Pink Wheels saying that they start in 4th grade.
Meanwhile, Flynn and I will just make our things with icons, and there may be 2nd graders who are exceeding our programming sophistication, but we have been able to make a number of different simple mechanics come together in a complex mechanism.
Well, no, Scratch is this very basic language designed for elementary students. So,
got it.
So they just adopted it. I mean, Lego didn't create Scratch; they just adopted it as the next way to go, and it kind of was the way to go.
Got it.
Well, I have to say I haven't done too much delving into programming other than what we did, for our pieces, which was like plenty enough for me.
Well, you did Arduino, right?
Well, I did some Arduino. Like I don't think I ever like 100%ed it or anything. Like definitely our friend helped a lot with that.
You did a lot of beta testing and modification over systems that he created.
Exactly.
So that's exciting that you can do that within the Lego universe. We had to look outward at Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
And that's what I use. Yeah, I would rather use a Raspberry Pi with the with Python for my lighting solutions. I've been buying the components. I just haven't assembled everything together.
Oh, see you later. I'm sorry.
My brain hurts.
My brain hurts too.
Just in case you thought Technic wasn't bad
technology,
enough,
you mean.
we started
That's
getting
what I'm
into the really
saying.
difficult stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have I would like to know more about it, but
There are only so many hours in a day.
exactly.
Wow, Kevinator is learning Python. That's so exciting.
I have an option like for a class that I can take an intro to computer science class, but I don't know. We've been doing some computer science stuff in my computers and libraries class, and it makes my brain hurt. Like I start reading it and it makes my brain explode. And I'm like, you know what? I'll stick with books. I can understand that. But yeah, I get it. It's a lot to take in. And then especially when they keep changing it up, it's like always something new. And now, of course, you can just get AI to write code for you, apparently. Although I've never tried doing such a thing.
Not good.
Yeah, but you know what? AI is not good at making mocks. Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think so. I don't think AI's there. I think we're still like mocks are esoteric enough that having human wetware and hardware is the way to go.
Well, not yet. All they need to do is give Studio an API so that the computer can manipulate can do the same things that you do.
Yeah.
Using your mouse. If there was an API where a system could do it, you could do an iterative system where you say, try to make me a sphere, and it tries to randomly snap bricks down until it gets close to looking like it should. And then we could train the models to get there, but there's no API yet for.
I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
I want to be a Luddite. I want to assemble 2x4 bricks and come up with something amazing.
I want to build personally, but I'm saying if you want to start training AI to build Lego, that's how you do it. You have to have it actually interact with virtual bricks.
No, I mean, personally, I have zero interest in having a computer build the mock for me. Like that would suck every bit of fun out of it.
Totally.
It's just for me. I'm sure some people would be really excited. And there's certainly people out there making AI images of Lego buildings, but they don't, until an AI knows every single Lego brick that is available, I don't think that's going to be viable either. So, and I love Monica says, if AI is as good at coding as it is at math, I don't think too many jobs are in danger.
Believe it or not, there is, what's funny about that statement is there's a professor who is using computers to verify mathematical proofs. And you have to encode your mathematical proof in the way that the machine can interpret it to verify the proof is accurate. But as they're going, they're finding that some mathematical proofs aren't actually proven. They found fundamental mistakes and they're unwinding some mathematics because the machine proof algorithm pointed out a flaw in the reasoning of the human, which is getting interesting because it means they're training this mathematical engine to start creating proofs if it needs to fundamentally prove mathematics. So this is where it gets really interesting as people are using AI generically, but they're finding different ways of applying it. And one of them is there is a group of mathematicians that is starting to, I guess, fundamentally prove things once they're verified by a machine model to say that this is true mathematics. This is pure math that is logically sound. And as they test some of them are failing.
Wow. So there you go.
We're flawed too. Humans are flawed. Machines are flawed.
What? No.
Hey, you know what isn't flawed? What was that?
You know who is
entirely without flaw? Well,
and an agent of chaos, one of the agents of chaos in our lives, who is absolutely not AI, is Logan.
That's right. And
Logan is not AI at all.
It's time, everybody, for the pause that refreshes.
It's
Logan Cookie time.
What happened?
Oh, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Let's try that again. Logan, give me time.
What the heck?
There's a ghost in the machine.
He didn't crash.
Yeah, well, I guess the computer's being weird, but Logan is eternal. So here he is, everybody.
Say hi. Say hi to everyone. He's barely looking in. There you are. Those short throws are tough. Okay, we'll get another one. Can you get it?
I'm very confused about why our video
Okay,
didn't play.
and now Logan with the weather. Oh, he caught that one too.
Well,
Wow.
we got it, kind
Glitchy.
of.
Glitchy.
The evil AI took over your animations.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. That was very strange. Anyway,
Sadly, no weather report today.
no weather report from Skittles today, unfortunately. Yeah, it's being real glitchy, like all of a sudden. I'm not sure it's being funky, but oh well, things happen. Yes, the AI heard what we said, and it's now rebelling.
Careful
I'm
what
sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
I can't let you feed Logan right now. But Logan won't have that. You'll just rip that AI apart. I know all about it. So yeah, anyway. So I'm curious as to, like, with March coming up.
Yes. I'm curious too.
With March
Yep,
coming up,
next week.
are there any of the March sets that are coming out, like the March 1st sets that are coming out, that anybody's interested in getting Animal Crossing Snow White?
No.
Animal Crossing, absolutely. I really want Snow White, but I think I can wait.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know for Moto, it's like if he already got the greatest set that ever existed and will never need to buy another
Exactly.
set again, apparently.
I was gonna buy the Orrery day one, but now I'm gonna go day one and look at the set before I buy it.
Very good.
So yeah, a must-have purchase is now dropped to a maybe because that.
So why?
that
Now
set is
tell
so
me
good.
why that is.
Because he already bought his one set for the year.
Because that flippin' ornithopter is so amazing. I don't see how many of the other sets coming out are going to compete with it.
The Velociraptor.
Well, right, but does it have to compete with it, or can it just be another cool model that you really like?
Not
Does
for
it
the
have
amount of
to be
money.
a competition, Moto?
If it's over $100 set, yes, it competes.
Okay, now that's
right.
fair.
And
Right.
it's-
No, because the way I look at it is when I buy a set, I try to think about how much time I'm putting the set together, how much time I appreciate it. And then I like to think about, like, if I go see a movie, like, how much does that movie cost? And then I think about, okay, that's about 90 minutes worth of entertainment. Yeah, and then I think about other things, and I try to think about, like, what is that price point ratio of enjoyment to how much it costs? And I'm still swooshing that thing around. So I've definitely gotten my $130 worth out of that one. I just don't think the Technic Ori, I mean, once I get it together, I don't think I'm going to play with it that much. So I'm really wondering at the price point whether it's going to be worth it.
Well, I mean, like, yes, it is a mechanical marvel, and like also it spins in a circle. So I get that.
No,
I mean, I bought the piano, I bought the typewriter, and they're the same problems as once you've seen one mechanism, you're just repeating it a billion times, or the globe.
Right.
Once you see in the solution, the beauty is in the solution and understanding the designer and how they solved it.
Sure.
Yep.
And then, you can have pieces and you can reuse them and all that good stuff. But I'll have to take a look at it and think about it.
I don't know that I've seen in your recent builds. I don't know that I've seen much Technic used for moving things. It seems like Technic for interesting connections and swooshability, so you can move it.
Yeah, I'm a structural engineer. That's what I'm trained in, is structures. I'm not trained in a lot of the motion or mechanisms type stuff. I mean, when I did internships at the car companies, it was my job to package concept cars, so I didn't have to create the engine or the transmission. But yeah, I had an opportunity one time to design a transmission. I ran away screaming because that is motion type engineering is a very different mindset than than making a structure that can hammer something. Like I built a Jeep concept car in that thing, or a Dodge truck as well. And those were more like, what's the toughest space frame you can build that can take a ton of weight and a lot of beating and not break down. It's less of like the elegance of an automatic transmission. If you've ever seen it, is like, it's crazy how all that stuff works.
So were you aiming for swooshability in your work before you ever discovered Lego?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
well, not
that you're gonna
not buildings, not like architecture. You don't want to swoosh a building, but yes, I mean, it could hold up the earthquake and stuff like that.
Right, things for cars and all that structural soundness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all structural stuff. Though there's a lot of different engineering disciplines. Like I don't touch a lot of electrical engineering stuff, especially 220 circuits. After I got cooked on one, I was like, I'm done. I'm done screwing with high powered electrical.
I can relate.
So my strategy to that is I'm more analytical. I like wait. So what happens is I wait for all the new sets to arrive. I watch New Elementary. You watch all the new sets arrive. Then you give it about 3 months for the Germans to tear all the sets apart and gather them in bulk. And then you go into Bricklink and you target. You specifically, from your high orbit platform, go, I want to blast that specific part into existence. Like, I want 60 of those. And you just, boop, you just strike at Germany and you get your parts. I don't know.
Now, I was briefly thinking there a moment if Dawn and Moto had an AI program that could troll New Elementary and convert it into a Bricklink order.
No, not yet.
That would be very efficient. But for both of you, I'm curious, and for Kara as well, is the treasure hunt part of the fun?
My treasure hunt is really weird because we're doing lug bulk, and the way lug bulk is done in my lug is you get to choose certain elements that show up on the list. So a lot of people, from what I've noticed, is their lug bulk is driven by a build that they have in mind. Does that make sense? Like,
yes,
I have something in my mind, and I have something that I need to build, and it's going to be epic, and I need a lot of parts for it. I'm going to do this. Mine is more like the D-Snot. The D-Snot Blade is one of my picks because that thing, if you have a ton of those elements, you can make a lot of different connections out of it. It opens up a lot of opportunities.
What's the D-Snot?
Building differently. What?
What's the D-Snot?
The D-Snot Blade? You guys, okay. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and I will look up the element, and I will put it in private chat so you can find it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I don't know. For me, the where this first came into being for me was before Lego, and it definitely extends into Lego. I collect antique light bulbs, and I was collecting antique light bulbs before eBay was a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So going to a thrift store or, finding this treasured one single piece had a lot of adventure about it, but once eBay was there, I could troll, like, here's 300 of them and how many can I afford? And I could just get them in my mail, no problem. And the same is true with Lego. Like, I know you go to thrift stores a lot, Moto. A lot of our bricks come from Bricklink now, so the treasure hunt is less the case than the economics of it.
On the other hand, I mean, yes, but there are parts and pieces and things that are rare enough that it's still very much a treasure hunt. So things I collect on eBay, it's definitely a treasure hunt. Like I have a China pattern that's very rare, and I finally. Like I was the only one on eBay who bought that China pattern for like 5 years because I trolled it so hard and so heavy. And there are rare parts in Lego too that are just really super cool, and they're rare because they're older. They weren't as popular, but in terms of the themes, but some of the parts are really cool. So there's definitely very much a treasure hunt aspect. You know, on the other hand, yeah, I mean, if I'm building something and I need parts, it's great to have Bricklink to go and like buy all the parts.
Well, we came upon some of that. You know, bless his heart, Flynn does 99.8% of our Bricklink shopping. Like, I'll go on there, it's like, how does this work, Flynn? Help me, I need a piece. And he'll make it better. It just works time and time again. But
there's a reason why that happened.
Yeah, it's because I spent an absurd amount on an astronaut jetpack in our first month of building. Like, I don't know, I spent over $1 for a jetpack or something, and Lynn's like, you know, those things are 4 cents. Right? And I'm sure I spent a lot on shipping. But for the TrickyLUG collab.
So I just sent you the part. So this is the way my mind works. And I've been accused of being a robot. So one of the ongoing jokes of Boone Langston. Well, part of Boone Langston's live streams was that I am an android that was designed by Justin Ramsden. So someday I'll get to meet my maker.
What? So do you have a lot of stickers?
No, just that Justin he's a great designer. So of course he designed a robot in his own image, and I'm that robot. So.
That beard's a sticker. I know it.
It is. It's totally not. Anyway, if you guys look at this part, so this was introduced in Speed Champions. It's been written about quite a bit.
Yeah, it's cool.
The reason I want like 1,000 of these is because it's not a part you can get in large quantities still. You might get 2 or 4 of them in a set if you buy the right set.
Yeah.
But buying sets is not a winning strategy for a part of this type because it's a blade, so it's 2 plates high. It's not a brick and it's not a plate. It's in between. That's why I call it a blade. And then it's D because it's got the tombstone back end because you can swivel it. Once you stud it in, you can actually angle it.
Right.
For the angle and the offset. And then it also has the Apollo stud on the snot side, which means you can use you can use different types of bar elements,
right?
Combo,
right?
A world of new angles.
But yeah, if you wanted that thing now on Bricklink and you wanted 1,000 of them, it'd be impossible to kind of. Well, I mean, possible, but there aren't that many out there still. So I mean, that's where lug bulk becomes an advantage. Is if you want 1,000 of an element that's so new but so super useful to extending your system of building.
Yeah.
That's how I make my decision making. There's another one that I chose that's really crazy where it's a bar and then an Apollo stud on the 90 degrees.
Oh, nice.
And that opens up a lot of weird possibilities, right? Where
Otherwise,
it's usually you get a lot of you get like a lot of leaves and whatever new colors have been introduced or this, that, and the other.
Too.
Well, in our TrickyLUG collab, I've wanted to use a lot. It's under C, and I've wanted to use a lot of trans pieces and in particular colors and of a size. So I'll want to get like this trans dome quarter this big in trans neon green. And Flynn looks at Bricklink for a second and says, "You know that piece is 32 parts, or it's $32."
Yeah, we won't be buying that.
But I only need 15 of them.
I don't care.
Yeah, or
nice.
Like this was a lug bulk pick one year.
Yeah.
And I think I was the only one who bought a lot of it, but now I'm looking back like that was probably a good decision because these are really hard to come by.
Yeah.
They still are.
Yep.
But like for undersea, these domes, I mean, space or ocean are kind of handy.
Absolutely.
It looks extra sci-fi with your ring light reflected in it.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I am now the all-seeing orb of non-technotron.
Well, friend, we have reached the end of today's build and chill and show off cool stuff. And now it's time to show off some cool stuff before we go. And that's going to be our minifig picks for the day.
Minifig picks of the day.
Minifig pick of the day. All right. Kara, what have you got for us?
Minifigchick with a minifig pick.
I pulled a completely random minifig out of the bag sitting next to me, and it is the goat.
Oh, bah. See,
With
Lego
black
was
shadow.
already D&D before D&D Lego.
Right? So cute.
Good. With the goat cheese that is not
Goat cheese.
actually goat poop, it's goat cheese. All right, and Moto. Oh, right.
Whoa. It's the piece that keeps on giving.
Yeah. The Baron von Harkonnen.
That's like Grace Jones's Keith Haring dress.
I guess so, in a way.
Very nice.
She did have a Keith Haring dress.
It's true.
That's
Okay.
that's a fun fig right there.
That's awesome.
All right. What do you got? What have you got there?
Well, I was gonna try and make the sound of this, but I don't know what sound a pink narwhal makes. So we've got a pink narwhal
Let's just go with hello.
right there.
Sorry, I've got.
Where's it going, Flynn?
No, I had it and then I put it back. This is a favorite of mine, and we've used them in several of our builds. But the old school manta ray,
Yes.
which I absolutely love, super cool.
Pretty cool.
Not
Mr.
a-
Meow finally calls them manta rays too now, which is nice. He used to call them panta rays, which drove me a little bonkers.
You know, I purposely say library just to upset people.
Oh my God.
Now, do you say that in your library classes?
No, and it wouldn't. Yeah, no, obviously no. But I do say it to my friend who is a librarian all the time, and I also say Valentine's Day just to really stick it in there. But anyway, it is awesome to see everybody coming and hanging out on a Sunday. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out today. We are going to be doing next week. We'll be here doing more talking and building. And actually, by next time we get together, March 1st will have already come, and we will see how much money everybody spent.
Oh my God.
Who's not Moto on March 1st.
I'm going to spend money. I'm going to the movie theater in IMAX, so I'm going to be dropping some coin on the movie.
Well, yeah, you will be. Right, to see what in IMAX?
Dune 2 comes out March 1st, man.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not up on the release date of all the movies.
Oh. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. I was bored the first time. Sorry.
They have
Oh.
a 7 p.m. showing today as a first preview, but Mr.
Fun.
Young, I
Well, good
decided
to
not
know.
go. We're not going to go. We're going to
do
go on
next
March
week.
1st.
And even before next Sunday, there's more fun and excitement to be had because this coming Saturday is a TrickyLUG meeting.
Oh, very good.
It's
there
a
you go.
big, very important TrickyLUG meeting.
Very important. So if you still need an invite, send me an email, trickylug@gmail.com.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks everybody so much for coming and hanging out. We will be here next week, smiling and building and chatting and all that kind of stuff. And Holly will be back.
I think our jumble will look a little bit different next week too.
Yeah,
I
it'll
hope-
be even more jumbled.
Yeah, exactly. A
Yeah.
pile of bricks.
But until then, yes, Dune 2, Electric Boogaloo, Debo Bricks, everything is Electric Boogaloo that is a part 2. So until next week, don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, build cool stuff, have fun, be kind, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Happy
Bye.
birthday.
Bye.